Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Only 16 students out of 150 attending class today. What is your number?
$102.
102. So regular student. Any other students? Tell your numbers. Nobody. Okay. So today we will discuss the very important physiology part and examination point of view, very important, which is a long question. And regarding this physiology, you should know it comes under mandatory zone, because in so many other systems also you will come to know, you will hear this word hypoxia. So far you studied my part, respiration, my part, regulation of the respiration, high altitude physiology, acclimatization, and underwater. There also you will come to know this word hypoxia. Even in starting in blood chapter, when you were discussing about erythropoiesis, there for the first time you heard this word hypoxia. You know definition of hypoxia. Hypoxia is a O2 deficiency at tissue level. So deficiency what the tissue faces with respect to oxygen, that is hypoxia. So hypoxia means at the tissue oxygen supply is less, oxygen is less. So why it is getting less, it is different. It is having basically 4 causes. Depending upon the causes, this hypoxia is classified. Before that, I repeat, I told in the last class also, how this atmospheric oxygen reach the tissue. It includes 2, one external respiration, and utilization at the tissue, it is internal. Okay, we leave about the internal respiration. It is because of external respiration. External respiration, it is of three types. One, pulmonary ventilation. Second, oxygen diffusion at the membrane level. Third, the transport. Okay, so to occur this, you should know the partial pressure of oxygen in different levels. The first one, total atmospheric pressure is, yes, 1 or 2. What is air pressure, partial pressure?
760 mm per Hg, sir.
Very good, very good. 760. Out of 760, oxygen is 159. We may say it as 160 also. 159. Okay. So this 159, it will reach to the tissue level because of pressure gradient. Pressure gradient. What is pressure gradient? See, atmospheric pressure is more. Inside, wherever it moves, because of the pressure gradient, that is less pressure, it moves. So the first comes when you inhale the air from the outside, that is the part of external respiration. When it reaches the alveoli, the oxygen pressure, that is partial pressure of oxygen, is 104. Just to make a note in some notebook, any piece of paper, from 159. Next at alveoli 104 mmHg. Okay. Next, from there gases, oxygen will enter the blood artery. There the pressure, again pressure gradient will be there. It will be 95. PO2 at arterial blood, it is 95. Then in veins, that is the last part, we are not concerned here. Veins, when it is coming back or when it is present in vein, it is 40 mmHg. So these are the pressure gradients. Okay. Now, hypoxia is O2 deficiency at the tissue level. It is a more correct term that anoxia. Anoxia means 100% utilization won't be there. No O2 at all left in the tissue. That is anoxia. Okay. It is classified into 4 types. This hypoxia is a long question for you people for first year physiology, which will carry 10 mark and can be asked for 5 mark question also. Can be asked in the form of 3 mark question, either classification or the causes, and it is a part of the practicals. Your respective practical, you are getting the Viva question is hypoxia and theory Viva question. Okay, and respiratory applied aspect depends upon hypoxia only. So in nowadays in pandemic, you know, when corona enters the lung, especially, the person goes for hypoxia. Why? Some other time offline we will discuss what exactly out of interest, what exactly it does there. Okay. Now, there are 4 causes. One is the hypoxia, second anemic hypoxia, stagnant hypoxia, histotoxic hypoxia. Before this, I will tell, I will check whether it is there in the, no, I'm not having the slide. Okay, I will tell you. There are 4 reasons for the hypoxia. Depending, 4 causes, better word, causes for hypoxia. Depending upon the cause, hypoxia is classified. Just now I told. The first one, cause, then we'll go to classification. First one, decrease PO2. Decrease partial pressure of oxygen at arterial blood. So just now I told the different partial pressures in different levels. So in blood, arterial blood, how much it is? It is 104 mmHg. When this tension, partial pressure is less than this, then it leads to, it will be one form of hypoxia, that is hypoxic hypoxia. If any change is there in this partial pressure of arterial blood, it results into hypoxic hypoxia. The first cause is correlating to first classification. Okay, so but there are still more causes are there, but those will be normal in hypoxic hypoxia. What are those causes? Second, with respect to arterial blood pressure, arterial PO2, it will be less, there will be decrease, so it leads to hypoxic hypoxia. But we are discussing the basic 4 causes of hypoxia. One is decreased PO2 at arterial blood. Second one, decreased oxygen carrying capacity. So now you tell me which is responsible for oxygen carrying? Hemoglobin. So if anything, any decrease in the level of hemoglobin, or it may be in the level of RBC also, which results in decreased hemoglobin, it leads to second one, anemic. So any anemia, because here what happens, PO2 will be normal. 104 partial pressure will be there in the arterial blood, but there will be problem in hemoglobin, in the number of the hemoglobin. Etiology may be very different, maybe anemia, maybe other reasons. So it will be not carried. So it is the cause is decreased O2 carrying capacity, which results in anemic hypoxia. Third cause, decreased rate of blood flow to the tissue. Blood flow to the tissue. So third one is the flow with concern to flow. So in case flow is not correct, maybe some etiology we will discuss later. If flow is not correct, it results into stagnant, leads to stagnancy. When there is no flow, it is called as stagnant. It is a third cause leads to stagnant hypoxia. And the fourth one cause is decreased utilization of oxygen by tissue cell. The fourth one. So ultimately tissue should utilize the oxygen. If tissue is not utilizing the oxygen properly, it leads to the fourth type of hypoxia, that is histotoxic hypoxia. So I repeat, there are four causes. The first one, decreased PO2 at the arterial blood. The second one, decreased oxygen carrying capacity. Third one, decreased rate of blood flow to the tissue. And fourth one, decreased utilization of O2 by tissue itself, tissue cell. These are the four causes and these are the four classification. So hypoxia is classified into four types. One is hypoxic hypoxia, anemic hypoxia, stagnant hypoxia, histotoxic hypoxia. Okay. Now the same thing is there here. Hypoxic hypoxia, that is the PO2 of the arterial blood is reduced. Anemic hypoxia, the arterial PO2 is normal, amount of hemoglobin available to the O2 is reduced. Here in this one, in anemia, other three causes of hypoxia will be normal. There won't be any problem with the PO2, there won't be any problem with the flow of the blood, there won't be any problem with the tissue utilization, but problem with hemoglobin, that is anemic. Stagnant or ischemia. Stagnant is the better word. Stagnant hypoxia, the blood flow to the tissue is low, that adequate O2 is not delivered to it despite a normal PO2 and the hemoglobin. So other three reasons here for the stagnant will be normal, that is PO2, hemoglobin and tissue utilization, but leads to stagnant because of the flow problem. Fourth one, histotoxic hypoxia. The fourth cause is tissue utilization is a problem. Other three reasons like O2 pressure, hemoglobin and flow will be normal. Okay. Now coming to the first one, hypoxic hypoxia. It is the arterial PO2. In this arterial PO2 is reduced, O2 content and O2 saturation is decreased because of the pressure. So what are the causes? There is less O2 in the inspired air as in high altitudes or closed room occurs. So we discussed high altitude physiology. As it go high with respect to the sea level, so automatically oxygen pressure decreases. When decreased pressure is inhaled, pressure will be decreased in the arterial blood also. Okay, that is the one reason. The second one, in the closed room, one altitude or closed room. Example, you people will be attending the theory classes. Number is 150 students. Okay, in a room we are taking. When enough, we will see that enough ventilation is there. In case all windows are closed, AC is not on for the longer duration. So at a particular one time, you feel some hypoventilation, breathlessness, because you are not getting fresh oxygen, and the elimination of carbon dioxide will be there. It acquired there only. It will be accumulated there only. So naturally, it results in the decreased PO2. Like high altitudes, there also the partial pressure of the oxygen will be less. When you nail that oxygen, it leads to hypoxic hypoxia. So second cause, decreased pulmonary ventilation in some pathology, in abnormality. Decreased pulmonary ventilation. Pulmonary ventilation means just what you take inside and gases exchange occurs at the membrane level. In case if the subject, a person is having some abnormality, a pathology like asthma, it is allergic thing where this it decreases the diameter of the respiratory tract, asthma, paralysis of respiratory muscles. So you know internal intercostal, external intercostal muscles, diaphragm, all required muscles for the respiration. When these muscles are paralyzed, so it occurs in case of poliomyelitis. Poliomyelitis. So with respect to the muscle, it leads to hypoxic hypoxia. Emphysema, where there will be problem with the elasticity of the lung tissue. Emphysema, airway obstruction, respiratory central depression. Okay, respiratory central depression we discussed in respiratory regulation. All these leads to decreased pulmonary ventilation, which is one of the cause for hypoxic hypoxia. Next one, defective gas. We are discussing about the causes of hypoxic hypoxia. The third one is defective gas exchange and O2 transfer due to problems in respiratory membrane, example pulmonary edema. Defective gas, this you might have heard nowadays because of lack of oxygen in the pandemic. We will get some industrial oxygen, but you will see that it is with correct partial pressure and correct mixture. In case if it is not happening there, it leads to hypoxic hypoxia. What happens here? Respiratory membrane, where this exchange occurs, it will be leads to abnormality, that is edema occurs, which is called as pulmonary edema. Fourth one, defective ventilation perfusion ratio. VA ratio you studied in the first part of the respiration. VA ratio. Okay, what is that? Uneven alveolar ventilation, as in asthma, emphysema, fibrosis, pneumothorax, and CCF. So in these conditions, you just listen, all related to medicine part. We are discussing about the altered V by A ratio. Just a minute. Ventilation perfusion ratio. Uneven, okay. Due to non-uniform pulmonary blood flow, as in anatomical sense. The another cause is anatomical sense. Here what happens? Anatomical sense. Right and left sense causing venous mixture. See here, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood mixes. It leads to this cause, which is called as anatomical. Just you listen. Due to non-uniform pulmonary blood flow, non-uniform means mixture of oxygen and deoxygenated blood occurs. It leads to hypoxic hypoxia. Okay, I told the different partial pressures in artery and vein, and another row of this slide tells about the hemoglobin concentration, percentage of the hemoglobin. In the artery, 97%, where the PO2 is 95, but 104 is the ideal, but it is given. In some textbook, I told in the beginning, some normal values, they differ little from book to book. Okay, I told 104 arterial pressure in mmHg in artery, partial pressure of oxygen. Here this slide tells 95. Okay, no problem. We will discuss as for this. 95 partial pressure contains 97% of the hemoglobin, that is saturation. It contains 19 ml of oxygen. 19 ml of oxygen. So venous blood 14. Saturation of hemoglobin is 75. So how much it is used? Because some portion of oxygen will be there in venous also. It is not utilized by the tissue. It will be remained. So 19 minus 14 is equal to 5 ml of oxygen is utilized. So difference of PO2 with respect to artery and venous, it is 95 minus 40 is equal to 55. Okay. The same in you leave it this one. Confusion. Only first side you remember. So what happens in hypoxic hypoxia? You know, low arterial PO2 will be there. When PO2 is decreased, as per the last slide, saturation of hemoglobin also decreases. Saturation also decreases. So just I will come. This is one thing I forgot to tell. We are discussing the slide of hypoxic hypoxia. So I told the normally the oxygen partial pressure of the artery is 104. Here, as it is hypoxic hypoxia, it is 95 it is showing. So this is the typical slide explaining hypoxic hypoxia. So instead of 104 mmHg, it is having 95 mmHg, which is having 97% of saturation, which contains 19 ml. Okay. So the characteristics of hypoxic hypoxia: low arterial PO2, low percentage saturation of hemoglobin, low content of O2. Instead of 21 ml, it is 19. Instead of 199, it is 97% saturation. Then low arterial venous PO2 differences as per the last slide. Pathophysiology of hypoxic hypoxia. Hypoxic hypoxia via peripheral chemoreceptors. It stimulates respiration to increase the PO2. It is a part of chemical reflection. See, when hypoxic hypoxia occurs, the physiological changes occurs through the receptors. So these partial pressures, that is hypoxia, hypercapnia, and hydrogen ion concentration, these stimulates chemoreceptors. It is the part of chemical regulations. There are two types of receptors. One is central chemoreceptors and the other one peripheral chemoreceptors. Okay, so it stimulates peripheral chemoreceptors to increase the PO2. Simultaneously, what happens here? When PO2 decreases, PCO2 increases, as PCO2 is a strong stimulant comparing to PO2, decrease PO2. Then washout of carbon dioxide, as it is accumulated more. When PCO2 increases, naturally PCO2 should decrease. So it leads to, because of the stimulation to the higher centers, hyperventilation occurs. Because of the hyperventilation, elimination of the PCO2 occurs. It shifts to hemoglobin dissociation curve towards the left side. Okay, you know, in the beginning you read the oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve. So shifting towards the right side and left side, it shifts towards the left side. So less release of oxygen to the tissues. So tissue hypoxia occurs. What are the compensatory changes occurs? Hypoxic stimulation of respiration, that is chemical regulations. Alkaline urine, which is due to alkalosis, which results from carbon dioxide washout by hyperventilation. Okay, rise of BP, because it is stimulating peripheral chemoreceptors. So peripheral chemoreceptors are also concerned with the blood pressure regulatory mechanism. So whenever there will be activation of these peripheral receptors, chemoreceptors, the BP also alters, it increases. Then polycythemia with increased hemoglobin. What is polycythemia? Increase in the number of RBCs. Why it occurs? So what is the title of the slide? Compensatory changes for hypoxia, hypoxic hypoxia. So this hypoxic hypoxia occurs at all organs. Kidney also. Kidney, as a response of hypoxia, it secretes erythropoietin, a hormone. It is secreted in when kidney goes in hypoxic state. So as a result, as you know, in the erythropoiesis, in the affecting factors of erythropoiesis, erythropoietin is one of the factor necessary. So when this erythropoietin is increases, it stimulates erythropoiesis, that it stimulates bone marrow. Bone marrow is concerned with erythropoiesis, then erythropoiesis increases. When erythropoiesis increases, RBC count increases. Increased RBC count is called as polycythemia. When RBC count increases, hemoglobin is increased, along with increased 2,3 DPG in RBC also. So this is about hypoxic hypoxia. Next one, anemic hypoxia. Anemia. What is the cause for anemic hypoxia? Hemoglobin is the reason. Other three, PO2, flow and tissue utilization, these other three causes for hypoxia are normal. Okay. Here arterial PO2 is normal, but amount of hemoglobin available to carry O2 is reduced. So oxygen carrying capacity is reduced, it leads to anemic hypoxia. So what are the causes for this one? Why hemoglobin is less in its content, in its measurement? One causes anemia. So anemia, you know in detail. Because of anemia, it leads to this cause. Second one, hemorrhage. What is hemorrhage? Bleeding of blood. When blood loss is there, then naturally RBC count will be less. When RBC count will be less, the hemoglobin content will be less. So it leads to this cause. Third one, abnormal hemoglobin formation. Abnormal hemoglobin, that is methemoglobin, where iron is in ferric form instead of ferrous form. Okay, then carboxyhemoglobin. These are the causes for other one. Okay, one more reason. In bone marrow depression, as it occurs in some treatment also. When bone marrow is depressed, so bone marrow is the site of erythropoiesis. The erythropoiesis will be decreased. When erythropoiesis is decreased, RBC count decreases. It leads to decreased hemoglobin production. This is also one of the cause. Okay. So features of anemic hypoxia. PO2, the same on 95 artery. Features of anemic hypoxia. 95, saturation of hemoglobin is less, oxygen content is less in both artery and vein. So with respect to arterial venous partial pressure of oxygen difference is 95 minus 40, that is 55. Pathophysiology, here at rest hypoxia is not severe. As in anemia, there is more 2,3 DPG which releases oxygen from the hemoglobin. Okay. During exercise, more oxygen demand by tissue as more oxygen is consumed by severe hypoxia develops. Okay. So here at rest, the first point tells at rest, hypoxia is not severe because utilization of the tissue at the tissue, utilization of the oxygen at the tissue is very less. So it will not lead to any problem if the person of anemic hypoxia is in rest. But in exercise, demand decreases, he may feel the severe hypoxia. Okay. What are the compensatory changes? Hyperdynamic circulation, increase cardiac output and heart rate. So with respect to CVS, the compensatory changes in anemic hypoxia, to compensate the oxygen at the tissue level, it increases, that the cardiac output increases. So cardiac output is in proportion with the heart rate, it also increases. Increase speed of blood flow. So to compensate, when hemoglobin is less, it will try to compensate. The flow increases. Increase speed of blood flow so that same hemoglobin can be used repeatedly to transport O2. Okay, rise in 2,3 dpg, 2,3 dpg. So it also liberates oxygen from the hemoglobin in a more level. More erythropoiesis due to erythropoietin is an attempt to correct the anemia. I told erythropoietin stimulates erythropoiesis. Erythropoietin is secreted as a result of hypoxia at the kidney level. These are the compensatory changes. Next one, stagnant hypoxic hypoxia. Decrease blood flow. As the term stagnant, it is a stagnant. There is no flow. It occurs because of decreased blood flow or sluggish flow to the tissues. So inadequate O2 supply. Okay. So flow will be hampered here. What are the causes? CCF, circulatory failure, hemorrhages, shock, venous obstruction. Okay, these are the causes for the decreased flow. So features: PO2 in artery it is 95, in venous it will be 25. Let's see. Previously it was 40, now it is 25. Hemoglobin percentage, saturation 97 and 45 in venous. So oxygen content is 19 and 9. So tissue utilization only 10 ml out of, even though 19 ml is there, because of stagnancy it is getting only 10 ml. So PO2 difference is 70 mm. Due to slow speed of blood flow or stagnation, blood stays for the long in tissue. So because of the lack of the force, stagnancy occurs. So blood stays for the longer time in the tissue. Venous PO2 is less and accumulation of carbon dioxide in tissue shifts the oxygen hemoglobin dissociation curve to the right. Previously towards the left, now it's right. So more O2 is released to tissues. The fourth one, oxygen delivered to the tissues. Fourth one is the histotoxic hypoxia. Oxygen delivered to the tissue is normal, but tissue cannot utilize the oxygen. So you might have seen in some movies, both Hollywood and Bollywood, when hero catches the villain, his assistant, immediately he will take one tablet and he will solve it. He will take immediately. So he will die. What it does? That is nothing but cyanide poisoning, which stops the tissue utilization of the oxygen. You immediately will die. So cyanide poisoning. Cyanide blocks the action of cytochrome oxidase enzyme completely. So tissue cannot utilize the O2. You might have heard the cytochrome storm in pandemic. So just you try to correlate all these things. Cyanide poisoning. Here cyanide blocks the action of cytochrome oxidase enzyme, which leads to completely which stops the utilization of the oxygen at the tissue level. The second, vitamin B or beriberi, where also several important steps of oxygen utilizations are blocked. Okay, leave it. It's very, it's the, I think you heard this very in the vitamin B deficiency in the biochemistry. How it works, we will not discuss it. So the features PO2 in arterial blood, just hardly 5% difference is there, partial pressure. And saturation of hemoglobin 97 and 96. Oxygen content 99, 18.5. Everything is there because oxygen is not consumed by tissue. So oxygen utilized is 0.0 ml. Even though 19 ml of oxygen is available, it utilizes only 0.5. So the difference is 5 mm. So tissue cannot use O2. So values at venous end are similar to the artery end. The same thing will maintain because it comes without sorry without utilization. What are the effects on the body with respect to hypoxia? On respiration, all see I am now this slide the effect of hypoxia. That hypoxia is over. So in general the effect we are discussing with respect to systems. Effect of hypoxia on body. The first one respiratory system. All except anemic hypoxia stimulates peripheral chemoreceptors and increases the respiration. That's hypoxia. When you feel it also, it happens in the body. On CVS, it increases blood pressure as it increases cardiac output and heart rate. Everything, stroke, volume, venous rate, everything increases, so BP increases. Third one, androxia. Nausea, vomiting with respect to GIT. So first one respiratory, second one CVS, third one GIT. Fourth one on CS, alcohol-like symptoms. Alcohol-like symptoms. What happens? Depressed in the mental activity, impaired judgment, drowsiness, disorientation, headache, and coma. These all will happen when you consume alcohol. So it is also called as alcohol-like effect. Okay, brain is affected in all four types of hypoxia, the CNS. Okay. The next one, reduced work capacity of the muscle. As muscle is getting less oxygen, so naturally reduced activity. Now, oxygen therapy. Oxygen therapy in different types of hypoxia. Oxygen therapy means administration of oxygen. So how you are going to administer? Okay, there are two types. Beginning I will tell you. It is given in the slide also. Oxygen can be administered by one placing the patient head in a tent, a box. Just you are going to one diagram is given in the book. So head is placed in that tank. The tank contains pressurized oxygen. So the body will be exposing for the atmospheric pressure. Only head is placed in that tank. So it contains fortified with oxygen. Okay, allowing the patient to breathe either pure oxygen or high concentration of oxygen from a mask. So in hospitalization, in hypoxia is there, in pandemic, the patient when feels the hypoxia when the saturation falls, so this mask through oxygen is given. Okay, allowing the patient to breathe 100% oxygen. Pure oxygen means 100% oxygen or high concentration of the oxygen through the mask. Then mask. One through the mask and the through the nasal tubes. Administering oxygen through intranasal tube. Okay. So pressure increases, directly it grows. That is the difference. Then in atmospheric hypoxia, the oxygen therapy can completely correct the depressed oxygen level in the inspired gases and therefore provide 100% effective therapy. Okay. Here I would like to give one small chart, but you take some points. You know oxygen therapy, how it is it is given, one through the pressurized tank, keeping the head in the tank, second one through the mask or through the tube. Okay, here imagine hypoxia. There are 4 varieties of hypoxia. If we give the treatment oxygen therapy for all 4 different types of patients, what happens? The first one, hypoxia, the recovery will be, result will be 100% by administering oxygen therapy. The second one, anemic hypoxia, you take down. For hypoxia, oxygen therapy result is 100%. The second one, anemic hypoxia, the result is 70%. 70%. Third one, stagnant hypoxia, the result is 50%. And the fourth one, hypoxia, the result is 0. It will not help, because if you use oxygen also, tissue will not utilize. So 100%, 70%, 50% and 0%. Okay. Hypoventilation hypoxia. In hypoventilation, a person breathing 100% oxygen can move 5 times as much of oxygen. The same thing what I gave some chart with percentage. The slide is explaining the same. 100%, 70, 50 and 0%. In hyperventilation, a person breathing 100% oxygen can move 5 times as much oxygen into the alveolar with each breath. Okay, therefore the oxygen therapy can be extremely beneficial. Okay, this provides no benefit for the excess blood carbon dioxide also caused by the hyperventilation. Okay, leave it. So oxygen therapy, the same thing what I told, this is the part of the oxygen therapy. In hypoxia caused by impaired alveolar membrane diffusion, oxygen therapy can increase the PO2 in the lung alveolar from the normal value of about 100 mmHg to as high as 600 mmHg. Okay. So see, pressure is increased because to compensate the physiology and pathology inside, we are giving the pressurized oxygen. Okay. So when pressure increases, it will be 100 to 600. In histotoxic oxygen therapy, not useful. I told it is 0%. When this pressure, extra pressure is there, it will tolerate. It will tolerate to one extent in the body, not more than that. So when the pressure increases, it lands into oxygen toxicity. We'll come to later. In a hypoxia caused by anemia, abnormal hemoglobin, transport of oxygen, circulatory deficiency as a physiological sense, oxygen therapy is much less value percentage wise. In anemia to the extent of 70% it will help. So oxygen therapy is much less value because normal oxygen is already available in the alveoli. The problem instead is that one or more of oxygen mechanism for the transport oxygen from the lungs to the tissue is deficient. That is the reason. So I told oxygen toxicity. What is this oxygen toxicity? 100% oxygen has been demonstrated to exert toxic effects not only in animals but also in bacteria, fungi, cultured animal cells and plants. The toxicity seems to be due to the production of superoxide anion, which is a free radical, and H2O2. When 80 to 100% of oxygen is administered to the human for the period of 8 hours, it is very important. So when 100% 80 to 100% oxygen is administered to the humans for the period of 8 hours or more, the respiratory passage becomes irritated, causing substernal distress, nasal congestion, sore throat and coughing. Okay. O2 therapy problems in infants. Some infants treated with oxygen for the RDS, respiratory distress syndrome, develop a chronic condition characterized by lung cyst and densititis, bronchopulmonary dysplasias. So another complications in these infants is retinopathy or prematurity. Retinopathy of prematurity. Retrolental fibroplasia, it is also called as. The formation of opaque vascular tissue in the eyes, which can lead to serious visual defects. Okay. So just I will bring you to the pandemic discussion. Okay, corona with respect to lung, it damages, it turns into fibrosis. Some part of it we discussed it here. Then as a treatment, steroids, oxygen is given. And recently in the second wave, some patients landed in some complications which are called as post-COVID problems, ended in black fungus, mucormycosis. I am not telling this is a typical feature, but what are the causes? Because of the extra steroid, because of the extra oxygen, because which leads to the lack of decreased immunity also. The cause is not sure also, but here we can try to correlate with the oxygen therapy. What it does, oxygen therapy in the last slide. See, so 100% oxygen it will tolerate to what extent? Some 8 hours. Again it leads to what? Nasal congestion, sore throat, substernal distress. Then in pediatrics, bronchopulmonary dysplasia, in eye effect also, these are all correlated. So maybe one of the cause. Okay, we will not touch that pandemic issues here. Okay. Now, hypercapnia. When hypoxia occurs, it is closely associated with hypercapnia. When oxygen decreases, carbon dioxide increases. So hypercapnia, it is also 3-mark question for you people. Better we'll end with hypoxia today. We will start hypercapnia and other classes tomorrow. So with respect to I discussed so far about the hypoxia, definition of the hypoxia, causes of the hypoxia, the classification of the hypoxia depending upon the cause, and we discussed each along with the feature. Okay, and treatment is oxygen therapy, either by using the tank or mask tube. Okay, here one more thing I would like to say. Normal atmospheric pressure is 760 mmHg. If 100% oxygen is given, in the last slide we discussed, it will be tolerated for 8 hours. Later it leads to some complications, even lung edema may occur. High atmospheric pressure or hyperbaric, the tank what we call the pressurized gas, it is called as hyperbaric oxygen, is pure oxygen with 2 or more times with 2 extra atmospheric pressure. This is well tolerated for 5 hours. This is a different setup in the hyperbaric. Later, oxygen dissolved increases the oxygen toxicity. Okay. So oxygen therapy is a viable question for you people, as hypoxia ends with the oxygen therapy. You have to write in the hypoxia the if it is a long question, definition, causes, classification, details about the each and the treatment, and therapy helps for what type of hypoxia. So this question, this covers your hypoxia. So next class tomorrow, as per the time table, we are having a SGD, small group discussion, with the topic regulation of the respiration. We will see. Actually, you're supposed to give a topic which is not covered in your theory as the SGD, but it is there as per timetable. Either we will discuss the regulation of the respiration, or I will continue the remaining portion of today's class tomorrow. So you please be ready with the SGD topic. In case if we start with the discussion, it will be interaction. Okay, so we are not going to discuss the regulation of the especially as a theory. So it is a small group discussion, interaction will be there, and it will be recorded, and we wish all the students will attend for that one. Okay, any questions regarding the hypoxia? Please ask me. Anybody online?
No, sir.
102. Roll number 102. Okay. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Just I am checking how many students who else attended, whose mobile is mute.
Thank you, sir.
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 Only 29 students attended out of 150.